Hey guys, I'll give you a little preview of what we're doing on ESP roll number 136, which is on the whole subject is going to be talking about doing clinch work. This is going to be the primary takedowns. What we're doing on primarily, we got 6 primary takedowns, and trust me, it's going to be a lot more takedowns than that from there because we're going to make those into subdividing in the classes. But one of the main ideas we're trying to get across with this clinch, if you combine this with a prior ESP roll number 127, which is we're doing the overhook weight side and the rule of palms to make sure you're using less work from the shoulders to work in. I mean, this volume can be standalone, but I'm not going to lie, it's going to work a lot better if you can dovetail those 2 volumes together. Now what we're doing here, when we're doing any of these takedowns, we're going to show them initially in the roll, we'll show them in isolation, and then we're going to show them how to make them active and mobile, which is how you want them to be. Just as in boxing, you want to be using footwork. We just don't stand there and throw our shots unless you're trying to just look good in a heavy bag without ever moving, which you should never be doing anyway. There has to be a lot of motion. So we're going to make all these takedowns come out of the pommel, but we don't want the pommel, in this particular volume, we're taking the pommel out of the realm of a drill directly into where it's meant to be, which is going to be the clinch corollary of using footwork. Yes, your feet are going to be moving around the whole time you're clinching, and there is some footwork ideas going on in that roll 127, and specifically in the one we're talking about, number 136, but a lot more ideas about what we're doing with the hands. Let me borrow my lower weight class opponent. You're going to help me out here. Let's do this. On the, you pull this off real quick. Guys, when we're doing the pummeling drill, we know everyone just usually stands stock still, just moving back and forth. We got a pummel, and we're using it primarily for a cardio, and this really, it's not doing us a lot of good. Even if we're using the rule of palms, we're getting used to the idea of the root idea of the drill. Maybe you can starting up your arm drags, your underhooks, your head drags, moving off from side to side. Nothing wrong with that. But the idea for the pummeling, this is, again, the corollary. Remember we talked about a boxer just standing in one spot and doing nothing, or worst case, just standing here. Even though you think you're bouncing, you're mistaking that for footwork. Footwork is actually making you mobile and moving around. We need to make our footwork inside the clinch something that makes sense, allows us to get where we need to be. So what we're talking about here, for example, just off this clinch, we'll stay nice and static. Try and pull yourself into an over-under body lock. Just try and pull it. Just try and pull them in. Okay, got the hips out, no good. You're good to go. Now let's pummel a few times, and you pull that over-under body lock with no step-up footwork. Okay, see if you can find that over-under, no step-up footwork. So you got to be a lot tougher because we're not putting everything together. But if you use as a step-up, which I'll explain here in just a moment, on a 3, 1, 2, boom. There you go. Step up right into the body lock, even though there is this weight disparity right here. And what we're talking about in a step up, this volume, along with the takedowns, tons of ideas about how we close this distance up. Make sure it's not about you using your arms. Often when we see body locks happen, there's a temptation to want to make it by virtue of the strength we have. We think if I can get this grip, it's because I'm doing this and I'm reaching, clasping hands, because I got super long arms all of a sudden, and then making everything crunch and come in. Nothing could be further from the truth. We're wanting that hand on the back of the scapula, and I'm using this as a rung on a ladder. I want this hand to be a mnemonic. I pull with the right hand. This tells the left foot to come forward. I'm not taking a step with it. I'm not trying to pull this person off base. Do not let me pull you. Do not let me pull you. I'm using them to get to them. So everything we'll be doing, this volume, see how there's already this unrooting, this awkwardness, because we're slamming into base, and all of our takedowns will be out of this initiation. So I'm going to go on to 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to talk about how to use different sorts of this contrary motion, rung on the ladder concept, to drive us directly into the takedown. Let's stay out. Thank you. Right into what we're going to want to do with the drops. So we're trying to make sure that this pummeling becomes your footwork and not just a drill. It becomes a more alive, aggressive beast. Make the takedowns happen out of that. We add what we call the steering wheel concept on top of that. You got three points of contact control contact, and then we throw in all these drops, which will not call for you having to get under a double underhook. Double underhook's a great position to be, but guys that are playing with better and better players all the time, they're going to waste a lot of energy trying to find that magic spot. We're going to make sure that your takedowns are coming at a more likely 50-50 neutral position. So anyway, in a nutshell, that tiny little preview, that tiny subtlety is what we're going to be taking on 136. We're going to really blossom that thing out, throw lots of takedowns on it, and hopefully it will start changing small little tools that change your clinch game.